This episode is pretty fun. I really like how it starts off with Pito, double-edged lightsaber. I like how she uses the shield to just charge in and bash him into a wall, and then literally just stabs him in the head with the other side of the lightsaber, and then you just see their body parts just go flying across, of course detailed in a very video game-esque fashion, so it's not gory in any way. And I like that because it sets the mood of the episode up pretty well, because even though the episode is like titled like Psycho Len, both of the characters are absolutely crazy. It's crazy versus crazy in this episode, and I like how Pito is such a fun personality to watch because she gets off on the thrill of like, she doesn't want to die, but she likes to kind of gamble with her life, and that's actually not that uncommon of a trait for some people to have. I mean, literally, if you look at something like, say, Megalobox from this season, the main character Joe, he fights in a very dangerous way. It gives him a thrill. Obviously, he's not as crazy as, say, Pito, but you can see kind of like a lot of people when they play sports, they do gamble their life a lot of the times because it gives them that thrill. I mean, people play Russian roulette, which is the stupidest thing you can do, but some people get off on that. But I do like how just the game was detailed in this episode, because like, even M says it in this episode. Now, obviously, he didn't know why Len wasn't coming to rescue Fuka, but he assumed like, it doesn't matter if Fuka dies here. It's not a real battle. If she dies, it's not the end of the world. And that's how the game is. It's not the end of the world if people die. So I like how you can have these over-the-top exaggerated scenes where people are like begging for their life, but it's more roleplay than anything else. You're immersed in this VR, so of course you're gonna think it's real, but at the same time you know it's not, and I love that. And there's this moment in the episode where Fuka's running and Pito zoomed in with the sniper rifle, and she has the least detailed face you can imagine, and somehow it makes that scene even better because it just seems even more goofy and silly, and it just works. I just love that scene. Like, obviously it wasn't done on purpose. These types of scenes with like, when you're at a medium or distant shot, it's hard to detail the face, and there's not a whole lot of point to like over detail the face because it's only going to be there for a few seconds anyway, but I love that scene. It was so funny to look at, and I like how Len just gets so invested in the game that she makes an imaginary voice and character for her gun. It's so ridiculous, I love it. Like, I think the sillier the series gets, the more amusing it is, and I think it works so perfectly for a 12-episode season. Like, I'm sure this would get a second season eventually. Sword Art Online is very successful in all forms of merchandise, from streaming to physical merchandise like Blu-rays, DVDs, figures, other things like that. So I imagine this will get a second season, and I'll probably watch it. But I think 12 episodes is really all I need for this, because there really isn't an end goal. There's nothing really present except characters having fun in the game, and yes, she needs to defeat Pito so she doesn't kill herself. That's essentially the goal of this season, and I like that because it's short, it's simple, it's to the point, and allows for the main focus to be on Gale Online, and I think the authors did a really solid job at making Gale Online feel like a full-fledged game, instead of just a fantasy world that the only thing you get to see in terms of detail is how the guns work in a lightsaber like in the original SAO 2. I will actually miss this show when it ends next week, but I don't think it's overstaying its welcome, which I think is a major importance here. Like I said, it probably will get a second season of another 12 episodes eventually, and I'll watch it, but I think 12 episodes is all I need. Like, if this was a 2-core back-to-back, I think I would feel a little burnt out. Like, if this comes back in maybe 6 months or next year, I'd be ready for more SAO alternative, but if this was another 12 episodes right away, I think I would start feeling burnt out because you have less things to think about with this type of series, but it's still fun to watch each week or in a binge. But maybe come next year, I would be kind of ready for another batch of Len craziness and Pito whatever the hell she wants to do, and that's, I think, a good thing. And these types of anime are fun to have in a season because it's not doing anything that wrong. It's a video game anime, a super high-depth virtual reality game, and it's rolling with it in the best way because you can't play a game like this yet in our world. Technology isn't this advanced, but you can have a fun show like this kind of tie you over until hopefully we get there in the near future, and I like that. This was a fun episode. I don't really have much more to say past that, but this was a very fun episode. It was silly, it was goofy, and it had just some very interesting tactics like Len kind of rolling under the car and then jumping over. There was a lot of cool moments with the tactics, and I do like that, and that's naturally what would happen if someone played the game long enough. They would come up with these insane strategies, especially if you have a character like Len, who's super fast and can jump high. Can't wait to see how it's all going to end next week. Let me know what you're feeling down in that comment section below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Your favorite moment? Let me know what you're feeling. And before you leave, be sure to like the video if you did enjoy, and if you're new, also be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.